Malhun Hatun versus Bala Hatun. Who was more powerful in reality? One ruled Osman's heart. The other strengthened his throne. But history rarely allows two queens to stand equally in the same court, especially in the birth of an empire. Late 13th century. Anatolia is fractured between Seljuk remnants, Mongol overlords, and fading Byzantine fortresses. From the small town of Soyut, Osman Bey begins to carve a realm from the chaos. At his side stands Bala Hatun, daughter of the legendary Sheikh Edebali, the spiritual guide who blessed Osman's rise. Her marriage to Osman wasn't just a union of love. It was a seal between sword and faith. But the Ottoman dream would demand more than blessings. It would demand bloodlines, alliances, and heirs. Bala Hatun's power didn't come from armies. It came from influence, a rare, almost untouchable influence. She was the daughter of Edebali, a revered Sufi sheikh whose lodge in Bilecik was a spiritual and political hub. When Osman married Bala, he gained more than a wife. He gained the allegiance of a powerful religious network. Chroniclers say she was Osman's Bash Hatun, the first lady of his household. This meant she oversaw the inner court, managed charitable works, and often mediated disputes among women in the tribe. Her voice carried weight not because she commanded warriors, but because she represented the moral and spiritual authority of the Ottoman cause. Yet, for years, Osman had no male heir from Bala. Their union was strong in loyalty, but the future of the dynasty needed a successor. This gap, in a time when bloodline meant survival, opened the way for another woman to enter the court. And that woman was Malhun Hatun. Bala Hatun did not lose her position after Malhun arrived. Sources suggest that Osman maintained great respect for her, and she continued to hold her title. She remained the keeper of the moral crown of the early Ottomans. Even her stepson, Orhan Bey, son of Malhun, would honor her in later years. But Bala's influence was quiet, spiritual, and internal. Malhun's would be visible, political, and expansive. If Bala Hatun was the soul of Osman's reign, Malhun Hatun would be its iron spine. And in a world ruled by swords, strategy, and alliances, souls could inspire, but spines kept the throne standing. Malhun Hatun did not come from a world of lodges and spiritual councils. She came from the battlefield. Daughter of Umar Bey, ruler of the powerful Beyinder tribe, Malhun's marriage to Osman was no mere romance. It was a political alliance, one that secured Osman's western borders and brought fresh warriors to his cause. Unlike Bala, Malhun entered the Ottoman court not as a spiritual partner, but as a strategic investment. Her power came from a single, undeniable fact. She gave birth to Orhan Bey, Osman's heir and the future ruler who would truly transform the Ottoman Beylik into a state. In the politics of the medieval Islamic world, the mother of the heir automatically became one of the most influential figures in court. Every decision about succession, alliances, and expansion was now tied, directly or indirectly, to Malhun's position. She was no mere ornament in Osman's tent. She was a queen in all but title. Malhun's Beyinder heritage brought more than soldiers. It brought legitimacy. In an Anatolia where rival Turkish beyliks often fought for dominance, her marriage merged two powerful houses. This alliance discouraged rivals from attacking Osman during his most vulnerable years of expansion. Some accounts even suggest that Malhun was active in military affairs, accompanying Osman on campaigns and overseeing the defense of key settlements when he was away. Whether myth or truth, the image of Malhun as a warrior bride cemented her reputation in later folklore. By the late years of Osman's life, the court had a delicate balance. Bala Hatun, the Bash Hatun, first lady, moral compass, and symbol of Osman's earliest ideals. Malhun Hatun, the mother of the heir, political strategist, and living bridge between Osman's dynasty and the Beyindirs. There is no historical record of open rivalry between them, but the silent competition for influence must have been ever present. In the hierarchy of court politics, Bala held Osman's past. Malhun held the Ottoman future. So, who was more powerful in reality? If we measure power as political and dynastic influence, Malhun's position as the mother of Orhan Bey gave her the decisive edge. She could influence succession, military alliances, and the next generation of leadership. If we measure power as moral and cultural authority, Bala's unmatched spiritual connections and symbolic role in Osman's rise gave her lasting influence even beyond her lifetime. The truth is, their powers were different, and the early Ottoman state needed both. Bala kept the heart of the dynasty pure. Malhun made sure that heart kept beating on the battlefield. History often crowns the visible: the generals, the heirs, the warriors. But in the shadows, spiritual and moral authority can last just as long, if not longer. Bala Hatun and Malhun Hatun were not simply rivals. They were the two halves of Osman's reign, the faith that inspired it and the power that secured it. Without Bala, Osman's rise might never have begun. Without Malhun, it might never have lasted. In the tombs of Bursa, their stories rest side by side, not in marble rivalry, but in the shared legacy of an empire they both shaped. One as the guiding light, the other as the unshakable pillar. Two women, one throne, and a legacy that outlived them both.